Okay, so here is our data, and this is in the shell file. You need to download this file from Canvas and do the work along with me. So here is the data set, and suppose we want to find the distance between two records. So we have Arizona Public Service, that's here. Okay, and I have used this formula to bring in the name of the record. Okay, and then we have Consolidated Edison. Okay, again, I randomly selected, that is that one. Okay, since we have this as B5 and B9, and if we copy this across, we will be able to get the column values or the predictor values. Okay, so the distance measure is to find the difference between these two values between the two records. So that's your first record for the first variable minus the value of the first variable for the second record. Okay, now we need to square that. Okay, so now if we copy that across, then we get the individual difference squared. So the distance then is the square root of the sum of that range. Okay, that will give us the Euclidean distance. Now, by the way, Excel has a function called sum xmy. The xmy is x minus y squared, which is what we have here. So you don't have to set up these two rows, square them and sum them and all that. So we can use that directly. So square root of sum xmy2. Okay, then you give the two ranges. Okay, so that's our first range, comma the second range. So that will give us the sum of squared. So the sum of this row. Then of course we have the square root, and that will give us the distance. So this function will directly give you the distance. You don't have to set them up individually and then find the distance. Now when you examine the distance, you see that this particular column has a really large value compared to all of the others. Okay. The next highest value is this. The rest of them are less than 1. So these two variables are actually contributing a lot more to the distance than any of the others. So these two have undue influence over the distance, and that's not good. And therefore, we have to normalize them so they will all be brought back to the same scale, and then you find the distance. Okay, so you normalize. So in clustering, you must always normalize your interval variables and then only apply the clustering methodology.